controversial, and because of the interestingness, is that a word, of the topic that we're talking about. Yeah, whatever. I'm making it a word now. Of the topic that we're talking about, even while we were, during the break, we have been talking. And then Flo and I were talking, and we concluded, he agreed with me that lots of the laws that we have roots in religious and cultural backgrounds. Yes, they have origins that. Now, on that basis, isn't there an argument for the fact that there should be a separation of church and state, and that laws that are originating from this, as we have agreed, religious and cultural background should not be used to victimize people, especially people who do not even subscribe to these beliefs?
Yes, I am in total agreement that if you are going to create a law, what is the yardstick and the basis for that law being created? If tomorrow I become the president of Nigeria, one thing that will influence my decisions are my belief systems and my culture and where I'm coming from. Now, there should be a law that creates a barrier. Because if I'm going to govern Nigeria, I will govern people who are of various belief systems. I cannot use one blanket law on everybody. It will be unfair. Because the circumstances of our upbringing are different. You are trying to tell me someone who grew up as someone whose father is a herbalist and he's doing well, he's doing good, he's not, killing anybody. You now come up to say your religion is better because it is more validated. No, I seriously do not believe. There are people who will not agree. But the point is, you cannot come up and be a president and insist that your religion will be the yardstick for governing everybody. No, it's wrong.
Okay, so on the basis of that, would you say that this act, the same-sex prohibition act, would you say that it is just?
Tons of laws are not just. If they decide that they want to be gay, leave them to what they have decided. As long, if they are not, this is, and I have to be factual. I'm not trying to please anybody or I'm not trying to balance things. What I'm trying to say is this. You see, you cannot use a blanket law. We must all come together to say, okay, do you know what? You're a cleric, you're Buddhist, you are this, you are this, you are this. If we are going to sit in the same space, if we are going to partake of the same resources, then it only makes sense. Even the Bible says, can two walk together unless they be agreed? Yeah. We have to come to agreement.
Okay, so before we throw the same question to Bisi, do you feel that this particular law and this particular stage we're at in our democracy, in importing this particular system of government we're using, is the reason why laws like this are still in existence then? Because at the end of the day, from what you're saying is that we all have to have a roundtable discussion, more or less, yes, and take into account the different ways Nigeria has shifted. You understand?
Yes.
The different ways. Morphed. Yes, the ways Nigeria has morphed, and the laws that were more or less initiated from colonialism and modified to suit us over time might be outdated.
Yes, because our values are changing.
Exactly. So then, in essence, do you then agree in this particular law that has been passed?
Let me speak in two ways, though I should speak only in one. From my religious standpoint, if I look at the law, I say, nah. Because if the government is going to carry this out, don't hate them. My religion does not sponsor hate. My religion sponsors love, not discrimination. Because, you see, the truth of the issue is, if you claim, okay, do you know what? These gay people, they are a virus. By pushing them away, how are you helping? How exactly? Mr. Perfect. Pushing the unperfect gay, lesbians, and everybody. If you love them, you will try and understand what is the root cause for this. If you don't understand it, then don't question it.
Okay, so Bisi, what do you have to say?
Well, my first answer to that is, what did Jesus say? Or what did Jesus say about homosexuals? We can search the Bible for that. for those of us that are Bible scholars, we can search and search and search. Jesus said the epitome of the Christian belief. What did he say about homosexuality? He said a lot of things about so many things. It never mentioned a word of homosexuality. Even the concept of Sodom and Gomorrah that were being used as an excuse. The Bible has made it clear. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah for their wickedness. That was what the Bible says. You can read the Bible over and over again. The Bible was very clear. Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed for its evil and for its wickedness. And now to go back to the question that Flo, I think I'm right, said, and I quite agree with you that laws should be secular. And it was very interesting. Nigeria is a very secular state. Nigeria's principle of democracy was built on secularism. But unfortunately, along the way, we had something which I call identity crisis. Every Nigerian want to either be American, want to be holier than the Pope, just like Fela said, or the King of Saudi. We want to outdo everyone else at their identity, so we don't know where we belong. And for someone like me, it's very difficult because I live here where I'm being reminded of my black identity. And it's something that I cherish a lot. I embrace the fact that I am a black man and that is my pride. But when I look at my African friends, families, and colleagues trying to outdo white people in being white, it kind of like saddens me because we have no understanding of how precious we have. Mandela built his theory around Ubuntu. And the whole concept of Ubuntu is that no human being, no single human being is complete without the other person. The completeness of a particular individual depends on the person next to that person. So if the person next to you is not complete, you are incomplete otherwise. And I would love, to see a Nigeria that can tap into the talents that I have.
Okay.
I would love to see a Nigeria that can tap into the talents that many of my friends who are now living in exile have. But unfortunately, because of hate, because of ignorance, we have denied ourselves the joy of what some of us can bring to the table. And it saddens me.
Okay, Bisi, I have a few quick questions. Now, if this law was repealed where you could have a boyfriend, you could walk around the streets without being lynched, but you couldn't get married, would that be enough? In your ideal Nigeria, what do you hope to achieve?
See, it is not about, I was very clear, and I've been very clear all along. Nigeria is not ready for the concept of redefining marriage.
I agree.
And I don't think Nigeria is ready to redefine marriage in the next 15 years. But it's unfortunate because Nigeria's definition of marriage is completely different from what is it in the Bible or what the white people practice as marriage. We have monogamies, we have different types of marriages in Nigeria. So that is not my aim. And you're right, my aim is to be able to have a job, pay my tax, have a home, walk down the street without somebody assuming that I'm a threat. And I don't think that is too much, to ask from a country that I come from. I just want to live my life. I just want to, do what you guys are doing without anybody thinking that I'm a threat to them. And I don't think that's too much to ask.
Okay, I have another question. Because some people, even in countries, even in the West, in the UK and in the US, where there's at least a higher level of tolerance, some people are of the opinion that right now it's at a point where those who do not believe in homosexuality, they're being forced to accept that it's now on the flip side that more than just being left in peace, there's now a bullying even by even homosexual people, and how homosexual people are very likely to cry victim at even the slightest things. For example, for one person refusing to marry them. How would you respond to that? That you
Okay,
force
so
acceptance.
you see, I know you're talking about King David, and we should put the issue of King David in a broader
Yeah, King
perspective.
David's
King
she's
David.
one of many.
Yes, King David worked for the government.
Yes.
The law of the United States says that marriage is between two consenting adults. The people that want to get married are taxpayers. Their money is what pays the salary of King David. King David is saying that I will not marry them because it's against my religious convention. The reality is, if you're a civil servant, you do not bring your religion to work. These people did not go to church to say, they're not forcing King David to marry them in the church. They went to the registry, which is a government institution. It is a government that has said, in this country of ours, a man can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman, and a man can marry a woman. So if King David was not ready to do that, what is expected of King David is to resign from that job and go get a job in the church, because that's where she'll be protected. And to go back to the issue of bullying, I think to some extent you're right. And as a gay man, I have my own issues around extreme equality. To some extent, are there been cases where some people have overused it? Exactly. And why exactly? Because they are human. And because that's what human beings do. If human beings, everybody will take advantage of so many things to do whatever they want to do. But is that enough to say we will not give other people the right to such freedom? I think that is unfair. And personally for me, I think that we need to grow up. We need to be adults about these things. We need to understand that these are two consenting adults who are emotionally connected to each other and who just want to live their life. And what they do is practically nobody's business.
That reminds me of a question that I have for Flo. Now, you do not, even though you preach love and you would not go out of your way to assault or be violent to somebody based on their sexual orientation, but you do not believe in homosexuality.
I think homosexuality, from my perspective, from my faith, there's something not right somewhere.
Okay, now here's my question. Let's take out the context of religion. I know this is not possible. You can't conceive a world that wasn't made by the God that you believe in, and I respect that. But if there was no religion and you were not a Christian, would you be this passionate on this, your stance?
For me, it's not really about being passionate. For me, it's truth. And truth I get from my experiences, basically. So, if I was not a... Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, that it's based on my... Especially if over time it's being validated. Then it goes on to say, for example, how do I know that prayer works? Do I try it? If it works, fine. You understand? I tell people, I will not force my religion over your head. If it does not work for you, find what works for you. Let's even take it out of the context. I'm not a Christian. I don't even practice any religion. My basis is this. I don't find being with another male attractive. I find a female more attractive. I'm sexually drawn to a female. You understand? Now, when you tell me that you as a male are sexually drawn to a male, because over time, it has never been a norm. If we all grew up with men sleeping with men as the norm, we will not see it as...
So you agree that to a large part your beliefs stem from both religion and the
yes,
culture?
Yes.
But you also agree that culture changes?
Culture evolves.
Okay, basically,
Okay, Flo talked about culture, and let me just use two cultures from Africa, not from Nigeria, that will dispute whatever you say. Have you heard of the Yang Daoju before?
Yang Daoju, you said?
Yang who? I think.
Have you heard of them before? The Yang Daoju?
No.
Okay, the Yang Daojus are based in the northern part of Nigeria.
Okay.
They are culturally part of the Hausa culture.
Okay.
And these are men who dress up like women, who behave like women, who take up the role of women, but they are men. And they've been part of the Hausa culture for centuries, even before the white man came.
Which parts of those?
Another gender blending culture that we have is the culture of Sango. Sango is a man with a plaited hair that walks around in skirts and earrings. Sango would have been the first known black person, black man with earrings.
Is it Shango with his drama?
So when we talk about
He's gay.
No. He's
He
talking
braids
about-
his hair and he wears skirts.
No, let him go ahead.
Something
Yeah, go ahead.
attributes which some people will say
Bisi,
are
Bisi,
feminine.
go ahead.
When we talk about culture, I think a man wearing a skirt on the streets of Lagos today will get stoned because
Yes.
we think it's not part of our culture.
Yes.
And that is what takes me back to what I talk about identity crisis. How much of our culture, this culture that we talk about, how much of it do we really know?
BC, let me explain. Let me broaden the perspective a bit. Apostle Paul, there was a time I used to have ponytail. I had passion for. No, seriously, I had passion.
Our culture.
No, hold on. Hold on.
Bisi
I'm
is
going
going
somewhere.
in there.
I had a passion for just growing my hair. I'm going somewhere, guys. Follow me. I had a passion for growing my hair.
Yeah.
And I grew my hair. My hair was very long to the back. And as I continued in my journey of life, I will notice that a lot of women will look at me funny. Like, why do you have long hair?
So you want
And I said, no. I'm like, man, I just like the feeling. I like the feeling. I just love having long hair. And some Christians came to me and said, that is very unchristianly.
Very batty-boy.
And I said, okay, I'm a Christian. I'm going to search the Bible and find out why it is wrong for a man to have long hair. And then I came across what Apostle Paul said. He said, a lot of people quote him, but they quote him out of context. He said, it is shameful for a man to grow long hair because it is alien to our culture for a man to grow his hair. I said, okay, that's culture right there. So what you are saying is, within the confines of the culture, it is obscene for a man to have long
Which culture?
hair.
You said Apostle Paul's culture.
Yes, he said our culture now.
Where's
Of course,
Apostle Paul's culture? Where is it based?
I wouldn't. That's we going into theology. But I'm going somewhere with this. No, hold on. I'm going somewhere with this.
Jesus has long hair.
Exactly. Hold on now. Jesus was a Nazarene. You understand? Now, Jesus was a Nazarene. And by default, the male keep their hair. You understand? So, when I read what Apostle Paul said, I'm like, oh. It's not like what he said is a taboo. He said, well, based on our culture, men don't carry hair. Jesus, like you said, was a Nazarene. We know of Samson who had long hair.
And that was his power.
And the moment that hair was cut, there was a problem. It all boils down, like I said, to culture. We underestimate the power of culture. Culture is strong.
Which culture are we talking about?
No, when I say culture, I'm not restricting it to Nigeria. Because, like, for example, it's easy.
We have to conceptualize it.
Yeah, he's saying
We have to conceptualize it.
So-
because we can't make it too broad.
Okay, so-
it has to be conceptualized. It has to be brought down to our reality.
Good. Now, if we are going to bring it down to our reality, we cannot take the culture of Europe and enforce it in Africa. No. The same way we cannot take African cultures and enforce it in Europe.
But can I say that I feel personally that a lot of our Nigerian culture has been diluted and influenced by what we perceive European or Western culture to be.
To two questions and then we have to go, even though this has been fun. One is, in the event that homosexual marriages are legalized, what is the worst possible thing that can happen? What will be the Armageddon that will result from this?
A lot of loose assholes.
Mine is, if the government tomorrow says, you know what, okay, gay people do as you want. Mine is, don't force me
To accept it.
to accept what I am not comfortable. I'm not telling you to enforce what I want. So don't, if I'm not telling you to enforce what I want, don't enforce what you want on me.
So what would be forcing you to accept? Asking you to not lynch them? What would that
My
be
value
forcing you be?
system is different. I believe it's like you waking up tomorrow morning and saying, I want to make Nigeria an Islamic country. You want me to abide by your rules? That'll be anarchy. You understand? If that is your belief system, fine. Don't make laws to force me to accept you.
But what if the law is
Yeah, but now-
what if the law is neutral to the point where it doesn't affect you,
And it
but
doesn't
affects it has to affect homosexuals because there now is a law that directly
My question now is, how do we inform the law? How do we reenact the law? Is it possible to have a law that suits everybody?
Well,
Let's be factual. It's not possible.
well, I think that it's possible to have this one law definitely
My question
makes
is this.
victims
Hold on.
of people that have
Hold on.
that haven't
why
done
are we
anything.
so hell-bent on sex? There is more that defines us than sex. But why are we seated on this throne of sex? Why?
Yes, because you define my sexuality by sex. I never talk about sex. I just said I'm a gay man. And the moment I mention that I'm a gay man, what goes on in your head the first time is the kind of sex that I have. But we know not all gay people have gay sex, whatever gay sex is.
Wait, what?
And
No, he's doing so. I want him to laugh.
go on.
No, go ahead, please.
You know, the point is the fact that, when we talk about gay relationship, or let me talk about the biological, which is homosexuality, we see people having same gender or same sex affection towards person of same sex. That is what homosexuality is, affection. Just the same way you have an affection towards a woman, and a homosexual person will have an affection towards person of same sex. Now, a gay person or a lesbian is the gender classification of homosexuality. Just like, we have a man, a gay, a lesbian, a woman. But the difference is that a lesbian is a woman who is in love with another woman. Now, the kind of sex that we have is not the issue. Whenever sex is brought into the framework of sexuality, it is always straight people that are always bringing sex to it. I have read comments on articles I have written or things that have been written about and saying, oh, you are allowing a man to fuck you. But the point is, do I spend 365 days of my life doing that? I mean, like, really? I don't think, what is really gay sex?
Okay, can I
Gay sex, people argue, is penetration through the ass.
Or the mouth.
We know that so many straight people are actually having this kind of sex, and it's an established fact. So,
Yes, but no, but I think if we look at it from, we need to first and foremost, I'm a believer of respecting every religion. You understand? You're a Muslim, that is why I have problem with churches that make noise, and I'm in a building and one church is making crazy stupid noise.
Oh, I must.
Don't try and force me to take yours.
Yep.
I will leave. I keep going back to the Bible. The Bible says, be at peace with all men. It doesn't specify the kind of men. It doesn't say be at peace with straight men. It doesn't say be at peace with gay men. It said be at peace with all men. Now, like I said, from a Christian perspective, our yardstick is Romans 1. Our Creator did not make male to sleep with male. When male sleeps with male, he has acquired what we call a debased, reprobate mind. This is what my religion teaches. And this is This is what informs. Hold on.
That was not what the Bible says.
Hold on. No. But BC, if you read Romans, no, BC, hold on. Now I allowed you to talk. Hold on, BC. I allowed you to talk. Hold on. If you read,
a man shall not live with a man the way he lives with a woman.
No, BC, no, BC. No, this is what
angle you don't want to go to. If you engage me in this angle, we won't end. If you read Romans chapter 1, hold on, BC, let me finish now. If you read Romans chapter 1, especially if you start from verse 22, though if you want to have an expansive knowledge, you start from 18, where it speaks of they have known of the works of God, they have seen it, they have known that this is God, but they have refused to acknowledge him. So God gives them up to uncleanness, that they may defile their own bodies. And then one of the things that God also specifies through Apostle Paul is that the moment a man starts to lay with another man, that is not the natural course. That's not the natural law. No, hold on. Of God. Hold on. Okay, do you know what? Hold on. Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me read it for you. Romans. Like I said from...
No, just read that particular passage.
Okay, good. Now, let me read Romans 1:24. It says, therefore God also gave them up to uncleanness in the lust of their hearts to dishonor their bodies amongst themselves, who exchanged the truth of God for the lie and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forevermore. For this reason, 26, God gave them up to vile passions, for even their women exchanged the natural use for what is against nature. 27. Likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust for one another, men with men committing what is shameful, and receiving in themselves the penalty of their error which was due. 28 puts a finality to the matter. It says, and even as they did not retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a debased mind, to do things which are not fitting, being filled with all unrighteousness, sexual immorality, blah, 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 all the way down to 32. So it is specified, it is not suggested, it is enumerated clearly and explicitly.
Let's give BC time to respond to that, because we have to run a bit.
Where is homosexuality? Where was homosexuality mentioned?
What is homosexuality? Is it not man and man? That's it. That's men living with men. No, we are not. It's not diction here. We are not playing diction. It's understanding.
You read an interpretation, and I will tell you offhand what the King James Version said. Going back to what you said, the King James Version said, and a man should not lay with a man as he lays with a woman. That's what the Bible said. And let me give you a little bit of education. Gay men do not lay with each other the way straight men lay with women.
What's your understanding of lay?
Question.
What's your understanding of lay?
It doesn't matter.
No, it does. We cannot take it out of context.
Wait, let me explain to you. The point is this. The way you will sleep with a woman is different from the way I sleep.
No, that is where you have No, that's the misconception. No, that's a misconception.
No, BC.
We don't sleep with it. You don't sleep with a woman the way I sleep with a man.
Word.
You do what I do.
No, yeah, that's BC, that's a little bit obvious. I'm not understating the obvious. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that, do I what?
Do you have anal sex?
No, I don't.
Why? So you don't play with a woman the way I play with a man.
I don't play with a woman the way you lay.
You don't do the one,
See, you are taking this out of context. You see, this is totally out of the context of what I'm speaking. You understand? It's totally out of context. No. See, whatever it is that you are doing because it is okay by you. Now, by the standards of my faith, that does not go down. I will not tell you to your face. Hold on. I will not tell you to your face that you will go to hell. All I will tell you is that according to the precepts of my faith, the people who do...
If you tell me I'll go to hell, I don't care.
No, it's not even... See.
The best people are in hellfire. Who wants to go to
the best people who have gone to hell and come back.
Okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see...
On a baby, I go to hell.
What?
As you can see, if we kept on this would go on for days. I want to thank Bisi very much for doing this interview.
One last question. I just want to find out. So now, Flo, what would you do if a member of your family
Was gay. Yep, I wanted to ask that question.
or even let's say your son, for chance.
Somebody to whom you cannot
Someone
easily.
to whom that you cannot. It's not like your cousin that you can say, I don't want to talk to cousin Jide anymore, but I don't want to cause you.
Okay.
Yes, your direct
do?
family.
I wake up one morning and I realize that my son is gay. I will not castigate him. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to search for the root cause. I want to know where he got it from, how he got it. You see, because it's not about condemnation, and that's the point I was trying to make at the beginning. It's not a concept of condemnation. I wake up one morning and my son says, Dad, I feel more amorous to a man. I feel sexually drawn to a man. What culture will do is hit him with a 360. What I will do as my faith is I'm going to sit down. I'm not like this. You are like this. I'm trying to understand. Okay, explain to me. When did you start to have this feeling? I'm not going to cut the branches.
What if he says he feels he was born that way?
He feels, I'm going to ask him at the age of 4, do you understand any feeling? Can you remember anything at the age of 4? It's not possible. So I'm going to look for, I'm not going to trim the branches. I'm going to go straight to the root cause. Because cutting the branches doesn't do jack. You understand? I'm going to go straight to the root.
No, okay, let Bisi respond and then we have to go. We really have to go.
Let's see respond, I beg.
My advice to you would be love your son as much as you will love yourself.
Oh yeah, that's basic. I would love my son.
You see, today, 11 years ago when I came out, I was chucked out of the house. Everybody gave up on me, but I did not give up on myself.
Basic, please, let me ask you a question I've been dying to ask
I have one of the most, wait, let me finish. Today, I have the most amazing relationship with my parents. Why? They came out as well.
You're
now, they are proud to say they have a gay son.
Okay.
They did their own coming out.
Okay, Bisi,
they
please let
come
me...
to love me because they understand that they have to love themselves and because they love themselves.
Okay,
Don't
Bisi.
try to change your son.
Okay, no. No, Bisi, hold on, Bisi. When you discovered that, that this was what was going on with you, what was your parents? You said your dad is a Muslim. Your mom, I mean, that's very interesting. Your dad is a Muslim. Your mom is a Christian. What was your mom's? Give me both perspectives. What was your mom's reaction, and what was your dad's reaction? Knowing fully well that they are from both different, they have diverse religions.
Like I said my parents did their coming out, and I saw the guy in the black top there in glasses. A little bit confused when I said my parents did their coming out. They couldn't deal with it. They couldn't deal with it because I'm not trying to debase my family. I come from a very poor, extremely poor family. My mother didn't finish her primary school. My dad only stopped at standard 6. I don't expect them to know so much.
Yeah, but based
when
on
I
what
was
they
coming
knew...
out, I didn't even come out to them. I came out to them the same day I came out to the whole of Nigeria. Wow. And it was a shock to them. They were more upset the fact that I put them to shame rather than I'm gay. But the point is this, to answer your question, they didn't take it very well.
What was your dad's perspective?
Wait, let me finish. I was sent out of the family house. They cut ties with me. I lived my life. I discovered myself. And at some point, they discovered themselves as well. And they came back to me. And I remember 2 years ago, my dad on the phone, crying and apologizing for what he has done to me. Because what he should have done is to see me as his son, regardless. But he didn't. He was so consumed by what the other person was saying. But now he doesn't care. Because when dad is cast, one thing remains. I am the result of an amazing night he had with my mom.
Right. Now the guy has been cast on the show, and even though if we went on, We will literally be talking about this for years and years to come. I want to appreciate both of our guests on the show. Thank you very much, Bisi. You still owe me a postcard from when you go to where you're going to. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you, Flo, for
Thank you, Flo, for coming.
for speaking with love.
Can I say something real quick?
As you did.
And I said that I think that I've been very enlightened by
both sides, definitely.
I also want to commend you because I also feel that my interactions with Christians in Nigeria, usually it is your way, it is this way or
the highway.
You know, so to a certain extent, the fact that you're kind of somewhat open to...
Bisi is nodding. Bisi agrees.
Nodding, open towards... connect. Open towards, you know, concepts and ideas, and your mind is a different view. You give me a different view of Christianity, or different kind of Christian that I'm normally used to interacting.
I have to piggyback off Wale because once I heard, okay, this could be interesting, but I have to be honest. Since I moved back, I've heard what Christians feel about homosexuals, and it is scary. So to hear how you came out, I actually commend you for not being a complete tool.
A complete bigot.
Thank you guys for both keeping it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
sir.
keeping it civil. Round of applause for everyone. This is still the Breakfast Club, and we love you, mwah, regardless of your orientation.